Hello and welcome to the Crypto Jungle. My name is Baloo, and here on the channel I teach you how to trade and invest in cryptocurrencies. If you're tired of every YouTuber just telling you to buy literally everything, then you've come to the right place. Hit the subscribe button. I do this every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's pretty much a live streaming show, so if you want to get notified, don't forget to click that bell as well. So today we're going to talk about Bitcoin. You know, I'm still relatively neutral and apprehensive as to where we are in the market in terms of what's going on with Bitcoin, all while the altcoins are performing extraordinarily well and we're forced to or we're being tested on sitting on our hands. I also want to talk about Doge, because there's a lot of expectation in terms of what is going to happen when Elon Musk is on Saturday Night Live this Saturday, May 8th. So we'll kind of talk about a little bit of market psychology and what I think will likely be an outcome. Now, we never try to predict the market, but we can look at the past and kind of make comparisons as to how these style of expectations, this type of expectation, usually goes down. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and jump right into the charts here. We're going to start out taking a look at Bitcoin. So we're here on the 4-hour on Bitcoin. We are watching this $58,000 mark. So we do need to kind of break this out. If we can get above this resistance right here, I think that would be a nice check mark to the upside, a nice bullish check mark. And then if we can break out this high of 59,000 and clear 60, then we're heading in the right direction, and we're able to paint that picture of a possible recovery out of this dip. I've been very apprehensive because, when the trend is neutralized, you kind of need to limit your risk and limit your exposure. Bitcoin does kind of rule the space. Now, we've been seeing the recovery in the altcoins be incredible. And, it's showing that a lot of the altcoins are really ready to move. But if Bitcoin takes a big move down, they're going to follow suit. Bitcoin is kind of the barometer of health inside of this market. So when I'm looking at this kind of structure and we have these highs and lows, breaking the market structure with this lower low right here, and then confirming that structure with a lower high, tentatively, we need to break out this high. We need to break out that high. If we can get above the all-time high, then I think we're looking really, really good. None of this is new for anybody who's been watching the channel for a while, but just a refresher. We're still kind of watching what is going on. So let's go ahead and take a look at Dogecoin. So Doge currently actually dumping. So this is actually perfect time to be talking about the risk associated with Doge. So for those who don't know, Doge has one entity of individuals, whether it's, we can speculate on who we think it may be, whether it's Elon Musk or whether we think it's Robinhood. Long story short, there's one wallet address that holds 30% of the token supply. I think the most logical thing, and if the individual who made the remarks in the YouTube comments is here saying that they think that it was Robinhood, I think that's a pretty good case. I think you can really build the case that it is indeed Robinhood that is accumulating this. Now, the only problem with that is Robinhood, that wallet, was offloading supply into Strength. So it's people love their Doge. I mean, last cycle, everybody got into crypto through Bitcoin. It feels this cycle, everybody's coming into crypto through Doge. If Doge is going to act as a gateway into the cryptocurrency space, I'm all for it. I don't invest in Doge. I think, if I was, the opportunity was at much lower levels, and those have left, but currently, we're kind of having a little bit of a reaction to the downside on this one. So best case scenario, we are going to form a new trading range. So anytime you have this rally, you'll get to a buyer's climax and then it will react. Okay, so we'll just draw a trading range on the last one here. We got to the buyer's climax right here. And we're just going to drag that across, and we're going to go down to the automatic reaction right here. So you can see how the price kind of respects this range. We We react it down. We get our secondary test equalizing the supply and demand. We did get a little bit of a shakeout, but it was bought back in with a nice recovery. And then we just kind of ticked up until we got to that buyer's climax area. And now we're rallying outside of it. So that's kind of how you identify a trading range using the Wyckoff method, which is the method that I use to do all of my trades and investments. So if that is indeed the case, then potentially we're starting a new trading range. So we are reacting down. This is a pretty good reaction. So where this reaction concludes is yet to be seen. It is live and actively printing. But I more so want to just address the psychology of these kind of known events that occur. Markets are a tool of price discovery. Markets are a tool of pricing the worth of any asset out there. When there is common knowledge that is driving price up, the asset gets the appropriate pricing. Long story short, what I'm saying is when everybody expects a certain outcome, the outcome becomes priced in. So you have a lot of people coming into Doge or making speculative bets on Doge, expecting there to be a pump on May 8th when Elon Musk goes on Saturday Night Live. And there might be a short-term reactive pump as people, start entering. But the point I'm trying to make is a lot of people are gaining these positions ahead of time. So effectively, the price is priced in. And then if the price is truly priced in and you don't get a lot of traction or you don't get the event or the outcome that most people are expecting, what ends up happening is a lot of people lose faith in those positions, or maybe they just close them out or, cover short or whatever the case may be. And those positions are exited. Kind of a buy the rumor, sell the news. I'm sure a lot of people have heard that expression before. So, we can never really expect anything. We can only position ourselves based on a reaction and based on, finding support levels. When you are in a rally like this, it is not a good time to be buying. Our custom indicator here was telling you to trim profits 4 times along this rally here, and there's no buy signal. We haven't gotten a buy signal in Doge till the last time we got a buy signal on this was at 5 cents. So, it hasn't been a good opportunity. I guess you could have scooped some up when we got close to the green buy zone there. But realistically, Doge is a very high risk play. There's nothing telling me to sell. So if you have a position at lower levels, there's nothing telling me to sell yet. We're going to have to wait and see how this reaction plays out, see if we get some sort of distribution, see if we come down to some of these lower levels around 40 cents and see how the price kind of behaves in that area. But as far as what we're seeing right now, it's just, if the bull market's over, the bull market's over. But if it's not, I think that there's enough hype and community endorsement around Doge to see higher price levels. Whether I agree with that or not, it's beside the point. I do like the fact that people are getting exposed to cryptocurrency. That is a win. So I'll take it. So let's take a look at some of these other assets here. Oh, just joined VIP. Welcome to the jungle, my friend. For those who want to trade alongside me and learn how to interpret these charts for yourself and become a profitable trader, or just be a part of a community that's very supportive and helping you learn, then go check out thecryptojungle.com, sign up for VIP. You get a free 30-day trial if you register under if you register under 2 of our links. So sign up for Bybit, FTX, and you get a free month. That also comes with an indicator. So if you are just joining the group, it probably hasn't been well advertised. We have a custom indicator, the alphanumerics indicator, that comes along with your membership. So there is, if you go to the bottom of the server, there's an extras section where you do need to read the reading material that goes along with that indicator, and you're going to have to click the disclaimer. Once you do that, you just DM me and we'll get you hooked up on the internet. Look at some of these other top cryptos that may have a better use case than Doge. We're still kind of battling with this area on Cardano. Yeah, Cardano doesn't look great, but I mean, it's kind of in the same position as Bitcoin right now. So, Bitcoin doesn't look great. Cardano doesn't look great, but I have faith that they can probably continue, whether that comes in a higher low or whether that comes at breaking out one of the highs. We've neutralized the market, so we need to proceed with caution. Andy123, how's it going? Good. What's going on? Wonder Wow, right on. Sammy, how's it going? Cool. Blue Man Perp. Literally worried that so many people are going to get burned on Doge, that unwanted and unwarranted criticism and regulation will be forced upon the crypto community. It's it's probably the fodder that will correct the market. There's always a narrative. There's a narrative for the bull market to spark off, to begin, and there's a narrative that pops the bubble. Unnecessary crypto regulation could be the narrative. Maybe, we'll see something happen where where Robinhood is no longer allowed to custody Doge and they're forced to liquidate positions and flood the market full of supply. We can speculate all we want, but you're right. I do think that regulation is coming, and it's going to, because people don't really understand cryptocurrency, and they don't really understand blockchain and how this stuff can't be shut down. You can't regulate it. Regulators are going to try, and they're going to scare people. And most of the people that show up at the end don't understand anyways. So they're going to show up. They're going to just try and make money. They're going to get scared that the regulators are going to be shutting down accounts. And if they're using centralized exchanges, especially ones like Robinhood, where their best practices are kind of questionable, then yeah, we're going to scare a lot of people off. But if you're joining here and you don't understand that blockchain can't be shut down, it can't be regulated, and that's the whole point of immutability. Do a little research, do a little digging, because we're entering a digital renaissance. This is like some pretty profound tech that you are dabbling with, whether you understand it or not. Back to Cardano, I'm not too stoked on the structure, and I'm not too stoked on Cardano. I give Bitcoin a little bit better of a bias, just because I like Bitcoin more. But they're more or less the same in terms of their structure and neutrality. We did get a nice buy signal on that one, but it was in the red trend. So yeah, we're neutral. We're neutral on that one. Let's go ahead and take a look at VeChain. I got a lot of VeChain community in here. Okay, yep. So VeChain, yeah, we're in a reaccumulation after decline on VeChain. I think the last time I was touching VeChain, we were talking about getting down to these. Oops, no, that's not what I want. It was at the upper end of this range that I'm trying to draw. Right here. We were up here, I was not convinced that we were going to test appropriately. It looks like we're back down inside and we're bearish testing. I think the value zone on VeChain's right around 16 cents. So this is going to take a while to play out. We had a huge move up. Huge moves up come with long-term reaccumulations. There's no rush on this one. It hasn't flashed its buy signals. It hasn't given us the appropriate parameters for bullish entry. We had a huge move up. I mean, once we broke like 4 cents, I believe. Yeah, as soon as we broke above 4 cents, we ripped to 25. That was an incredible rally. A lot of people made a lot of money. If you're just joining in on VeChain, you're going to have to wait for this supply to be absorbed before we can even talk about higher targets on VeChain. So yeah, I think 16 cents is probably the fair market value in its current state. And I think it would be a good opportunity to kind of, look to scoop some up. Nothing here is financial advice, but hey. All right, so now I want to cover a few coins that showed up in the in my YouTube comment section that I haven't gotten to in the last 2 streams, because I'm just working out the whole stream workflow, and then we'll open it up to you guys so we can get some of your suggestions, some of the projects that you want to take a look at. But let's take a look at Theta. Haven't looked at Theta in a while, so let's see what's going on with Theta. Pretty interesting project. I know I think Old Fish Tank, you're pretty bullish on this one, and it's a pretty impressive project. The team is really what's so impressive about Theta, and if they can kind of get some decentralized sharing of media, it looks like we're kind of forming a reaccumulation after decline. Bit of a distributional event here. It looks like there's no rush on this one. I'm thinking just reaccumulation after decline. So we'll see how this one plays out. You know, Theta, another one that had a ton of money come in. You know, a lot of people made a lot of money. Our last macro resistance was back down here, so we can call that our support down in this range right here. So, you know, if you can get an opportunity to get it at $8, I think that's a good buying opportunity. As long as that support holds, it's, you know, I think we're going to see buyers coming in at $8. So that's pretty much what I'm thinking on Theta. Another one that I've never heard of that sounds like garbage, Banano coin. I don't even know what the hell I'm even looking at this for. Yeah, it looks like shit. Yeah, it's dumb. There, that's Banano coin. Medicoin. Medicoin. I can't even find it on TradingView. Moving on. Bird money. Haven't covered Bird in a while. You know, I've been, I guess this is not my expectation. Bird's really shitty. You know, it's sucking. The price action's really non-committal. I just don't know what's going on. You know, the trend is very slow on Bird. It's got to break out some highs. Until it can overtake the trend is relatively neutral. We kind of up thrust and then we fall back down. We up thrust and we fall back down. I pretty much exited my position in Bird. I took lots of profits along the way. You know, I was participating in Bird at about $20. So I got in at a pretty good point. And that's the thing, you know, when you're dealing with these small market cap coins, they get hype, they pump, and then they do nothing for a long time, longer than the mid caps, longer than the large caps. You know, when you have a community behind it and you have awareness in the market, anytime there's a bullish indicator, you might get more market participation. If you don't have that, all of those eyes on the asset, you may not get the same follow through. So with Bird, I don't know. It's not looking super healthy for me, honestly. We'll have to see. You know, they've released some products and they got very little traction as far as market attention. So I'm not saying give up. I mean, you do you have to make your own decisions at the end of the day, but I've focused my efforts elsewhere. Okay, let's see what we got in the chat here. C137, small YouTuber with about 1.2 subs that specializes in technical analysis, mainly on BTC. I've explained Wyckoff price cycle psychology, but would love to have someone who is a master of the method and explain the insurmountable ways of understanding the market. Would you be interested in chatting? Yeah, sure. Yeah, why not? So email me, bluethecryptobear@gmail.com, and we'll figure out the details. Okay, let's get it. Richard Peterson. Not even going to think about how many Doge I had back in 2017. At least I sold with a couple 100% in profit back then. Yeah, you know, we have a few traders that were holding some pretty significant positions in Doge that may or may not have made them a millionaire if they just held on. Markets are irrational. Chainlink and Band. Sure, yeah, we can take a look at those guys. Chainlink and Band. You know what? Let's do a side-by-side because they're both Oracle projects. So let's do a comparative analysis on Chainlink and Band. I think that'll be a nice educational feature to the stream here. It's nice to do those comparative analysis against competing assets. So let's take a look at the price structure of Link. Link USD on the daily. Yeah, it's a very healthy trend. Link is the top Oracle. You know, trying to front run any sort of idea with Link is kind of, you know, or just make a comparison that, you know, the next Oracle protocol might be better. How many oracles do we need, really? Like, they all work on many different chains. It's a cross-chain thing. It just brings real-world data to the blockchain. Most applicable use of that data currently is price. So, you know, getting the price from centralized exchanges, putting it onto the DEX is a much better, is a very easy way for you to kind of know what the importance of a DEX or what the importance of an oracle is. There's other applications. I just think the other applications are a little ahead of its time. So, you know, we've been battling with this resistance area here on band. A bit of a cup and handle here. Now, the cup and handle, all it is just price action battling a resistance. All these patterns, everything that we look at, all the trading ranges, everything, it's just support and resistance. Your default analysis needs to be, where is the resistance? Are we holding support? Anything that you interpret within that realm will kind of help you determine what other people are looking at and kind of foresee probabilities. But a cup and handle is just an asset that is battling with resistance. You know, it's trying to break through the resistance. That's it. So we have a flat line of resistance. If we can overtake this resistance that has been tested for a very long time, we did our first test 269 days ago. So if that level breaks, it's a big deal. And if we get above that $20 psychological level and start to trend to the upside, I think that there's not a lot in our way in terms of resistance once we get above this, because we've been testing it for a very long time. Link, a little bit of a different structure, more of a bullish posture, and more continuation to the upside. I think there's just better fundamentals. There's better use case. There's more adoption. There's more people using the protocol. And so we're getting that just healthier tick to the upside. When band breaks out, it'll probably break out in a larger way, but Link is consistently giving gains, and it's doing so in a much more healthy and sustainable way, in my opinion. We'll have to see what plays out. I know a lot of the people in my group were on the band side of things, jumping on the bandwagon. I'm alongside you guys with that, so we're gonna keep our eyes on band. I don't hold any Link. I hold band, but Link is the one that keeps on giving. Band is struggling, so we'll have to see what happens when that breakout finally does occur. Ontology seems to be coming out of a Livermore horn pattern. Yeah, Ontology seems to be in a nice bottoming pattern. Yeah, we'll take a look at Dodo. Dodo. That's one of those coins that ended up in my portfolio, and I just asked myself, what? Why did I get this? What is this? It's a DEX aggregator, like 1 inch, but it still had me asking myself, why did I buy Dodo? What was this? That's what the euphoria of the bull market will do to you sometimes. Let's take a quick look at Ontology. Link has 500,000 holders. Yeah, that's a good measure of adoption right there. Quite a volatile backup phase on Ontology. So we're talking about the widening megaphone. I would agree that it looks like the volatility and spread is increasing as we are leaving an accumulation. That's typically a bullish formation. We want to hold this level. We want to start breaking out some of the highs, and I think we'll be off to the races on this one. There's a lot of attention going to the NEO ecosystem. I'm not really hearing too much about it, but NEO has been doing very well. Anything that is associated with NEO will likely go up. It's like any ecosystem. When Solana started pumping, everything started moving in the Solana ecosystem. When Ethereum started pumping at the beginning, a lot of, actually, I think the other assets that were inside of Ethereum caused Ethereum to pump. But anyways, these ecosystems, they all kind of move together. So when one is winning, everybody starts paying attention to the entire ecosystem, and the other stuff starts to go as well. So Ontology, I think, falls under that category as well. Sign of strength, last point of support. We got to work out this backup phase and head up into markup. T-Fuel. We can take a look at T-Fuel, I guess. Let's get back onto Dodo, though. You got to ask yourself what the value is of a gas token, though. There is speculative bets, and then there's true value. So what is the more valuable token? Is it the gas required to do transactions, or is it the governance token, the actual protocol that creates that gas? I don't really understand too much about Theta to know. I'm assuming that Theta produces T-Fuel. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know. But yeah, anyways, when we take a look at Dodo here, we got a nice low volume spring, and then we've tested. Look at that. That's nice. I'm liking the volume here. So I knew I bought it for some reason. 1 inch has been performing well. I think if we can hold this level right here, as long as Bitcoin kind of, behaves and the space continues to be bullish and we can hold this level, I think we could start to break out of this channel. We're still inside the channel, so it's going to take a while before you get some real price appreciation here, but I really like this volume signature. This is showing that there's demand coming in at the test. We got a low volume spring. It's exactly what you want to see. And then we came down and we got a test on high demand. It's looking good. It's looking good. It's a step in the right direction. Step in the right direction. Yeah, T-Fuel. Why not? If it's available to trade, the market will put a price on it. Looks a lot like Audius. Almost looks exactly like Audius. So that's interesting. Very volatile. We did get a higher high on the local higher high. So, this high did wick above this high. So that's good. I would want to see this level hold. So you can see all these touch points down in this support area right here. I want to see this area hold. So, that could have been the test right there. That could have been all that we need. And then we broke out the local high. So it's trending. It's trending in the right direction. I think that you would be wanting to buy a dip, buy a pullback on this one if you wanted to get the optimal position. If you know more than me and you think T-Fuel is very valuable, go for it. But usually I try to buy the token that is associated with the project that kind of creates the fuel. Like VeChain makes VeTho, Neo makes Neo Gas, Ontology makes Ontology Gas. I'm just assuming that Theta makes Theta Fuel. But it's also a publicly traded asset, so you do you. Still declining volume overall, so not a huge ton there's not a ton of demand coming in here for this. It's just moving, it's natural ebbs and flows of this one. I think, Theta would probably be the better one, but that's just me. Can I take a look at Prosper? It's on Binance, PROS. Yeah, Cody, we'll revisit Cody as well. Can somebody drop in the comments section what Cody is? I know what the ticker is, but what is Cody? Is that like NFTs or what is that? PROS for pros? Only on Ethereum? What's going on here? The Ethereum? I'm gonna go with DAI. Oh man, you're not giving me something I can chart. I need to be able to chart it, brother. See what we've got here. Up 14%, market cap 23 million, circulating supply 4.4 million, 100 million total supply available. So I'm not sure how they release the tokens. So, you're going to want to dive in to see how the tokens are distributed and to what time parameter they are distributed. Because on the surface, it looks like there's a lot more supply to enter the market. Let's take a look at the last 90 days. Yeah, we had a nice break above. So this is kind of our sign of strength here. I can't draw on here, but you want to hold above this level. You want to hold above 550. So we're currently, we're taking out the highs. Let me see if I can find it again on TradingView here. Cody is a payment network. Yeah, everything's a payment network. Okay, let me try Pros again. Cody is with Cardano. Well, that's not selling it to me. All right, there we go. We got a chart. So yeah, you have these highs that came in during the downtrend. So make note of those highs. So we'll make one here. We'll make one here. and we'll throw another one here. And why not? We'll go with the all-time high here. So these are the levels to break. You want to get above them and you want to stay above them. So currently, you know, we tried to overtake this level. We were unable to hold it. We're currently trying to support down here, but it's not holding well. It's kind of an inverse head and shoulders too. I wouldn't be surprised if we come back down to 375, something like that, and retry the support. Retry that support. So if we kind of draw the downtrending line of resistance here, we did get a break, didn't really test it very much, but yeah, it needs to form support, and this action right here looks like distribution, localized distribution. It's just a high volume event. I mean, it's got the, if I don't like the setup, I don't take the trade. And, you know, you're going to have to kind of look at the price action, and as you develop, you're going to be seeing these things. When you see certain patterns play out, you're going to see them time and time again. When I see this high volatility shortening spread, you know, almost a head and shoulders formation, me personally, I would be expecting downside. Let's take a look at the RSI. Bit of a bullish divergence, I guess. Yeah, it's super liquid. Proceed with caution. You know, it's not really responding appropriately because it's such a small cap coin. What was the market cap on it? Yeah, 23 million. Proceed with caution, my friend. TA gets harder as the market cap gets smaller. Cody. Okay, so we got a break. We had the line drawn. I said, you know, wait for this to break out. We got a break and we got a test on very good volume. Lots of demand coming in. So, you know, that's checkbox number one. Let's take a look at some of these resistance that we have. So we kind of, yeah, we're currently below this resistance. I'm just dragging that from the previous kind of breakout. So we are back below the resistance. We got to get back on top of that. And then beyond that, if we can get above kind of this area right here, I think we'll be off to the races with this one. So these are the levels you want to get above. So if we kind of rally from here, look for us to get exhausted there, this would be the entry. If you could get in, form support, get the turnaround, then we'd be heading in the right direction. Yeah, it looks good. You know, the supply's more or less been exhausted. Demand seems to be coming in. There's quite a lot coming in here, which can be just a lot of people willing to sell, or it's just the fact that it's not a very high market cap coin. So the volume signatures are just going to be more obvious. You know, it's just almost anybody can be a whale inside of this one. Let's see what the market cap is on Cody. Cody. 244 million. Yeah, it's not super big, so you gotta be, yeah, trading volume barely at my minimum. But yeah, it's doing okay. It's giving you some moderate buy signals, but the market is very volatile, you know, and the market is kind of at an indecision point. I wouldn't be opening a position on this one right now. If you're holding a position, I say keep holding. But as far as opening stuff, you know, yeah, I'm not looking to be longing Cody or anything. Cody is the first enterprise-grade fintech platform that empowers organizations to build their own payment solution and digitize any currency to save time and money. Okay. I mean, sure. I don't care. Did you look at Dash already? No, I did not look at Dash. Let's take a look at what's going on with Dash. You know, that's the thing. Like, we get so many buzzwords and we get so many things being thrown at these new investors. Like, oh my God, it's doing enterprise solution and it's doing this and that. It's like, guys, it's blockchain. Like, every blockchain does that. That's what blockchain is. Like, it's permissionless. Anybody can use it. Companies, individuals, anybody. It's blockchain. Like, you can make the argument that you could use the Bitcoin Lightning Network for that. Bitcoin Lightning Network is a payment solution. You know, Matic Network is a payment solution. OMG is a payment solution. Cody is too. Blockchain is the payment solution. Yeah, Dash, you know, I'm looking for a nice daily close here. So we'll go to the daily. As long as we close above this level right here, Boom, 379, which I think is pretty achievable. We'd have to take a downside move in Bitcoin to not get that. I think that would be a pretty bullish confirmation of a continuation of this one. If we, an even more bullish one is if we could get a close above 416. So watch out for that as well, because you'd be getting the candle body close above the previous high wick. The candle closes on the daily can give you some insight as to how bullish the asset is. So watch out for those two levels. If we get below 375 and close below, we'll probably come back down and retest 300. But yeah, overall, I'm pretty bullish on Dash. I think Dash is just kind of getting going. But again, you know, we're really waiting for a lot of confirmation from the market to tell us that it's a green light. We don't have that green light just yet. Monero, Monero is in a much better position. We've had a lot of better price appreciation when taking a look at Monero. I love Monero. I really, really like Monero. So we were calling Monero down here when we were charting this reaccumulation. We got the break above. We started taking positions in Monero at 250. Currently up at 410. We are rocking and rolling with Monero. Not an easy asset to hold on to, though. Pretty choppy. So we're going to have to proceed with caution, because this is a bit of a change of character. We could actually come back down on this one, just given the characteristics. This looks a little distributional. So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we start testing somewhere around 350. You know, worst case scenario, we could even almost come down to here at the original change of character down at $300. So, you know, am I taking profits in Monero? No, Monero is kind of a hodl for me. I really like it. You know, we don't have many forms of cash in the blockchain ecosystem. Monero is cash. It holds the same properties as cash. When I hand you a 20, nobody knows that. It's a privacy coin. Cash is a privacy coin. So, you know, Bitcoin Cash is not cash. Monero is cash. Not to be greedy, but Dot and Avalanche. Okay, yeah, Dot's been lagging, man. What's up with Dot? Everybody, when Dot hit the market, man, there was a lot of hype. Everybody was in love with Dot. I literally had people say, you know, I would do TA on it, and it wasn't a favorable setup. And some guys just like, you know what? That's it. You know, I gave you the best project, and you're telling me that it's shit. I just told you that the TA was shit, and it hasn't really, you know, done much. Yeah, it's another one of those coins that that really needs to make up its mind, and I think that it'll get out of this kind of short-term bearish area if we can trend up with Bitcoin. So, you know, we do have a lower low. You know, it's the same thing with Bitcoin. It's the same story. We're overtaking the resistance little by little by little. We need to get back on top of this trading range and retest it. But it's not a beautiful structure. It's not something that I'd be looking to enter. No, I wouldn't be looking to enter this at all. So, you know, it's just another example of how we kind of need to wait for confirmation. If we go ahead and take a look at Avalanche, I think kind of losing faith in Avalanche. That could be an indicator that it's getting ready to pump. But, you know, Avalanche, there's just better chains out there now, you know. A lot of people were really bullish on Avalanche when it first kind of launched, but I'm much more bullish on the Solana ecosystem and Serum Dex and all of that shit. I think that's the better play, but we'll see. We'll see. You know, we don't have the ability to predict the future. We just allow ourselves to observe what the market participants are doing. Currently trying to overtake this resistance area, so that's good, but we're struggling to do so we could come back down and test the bottom of the range again. So, you know, that's definitely a possibility. If we do start to break out some of these highs, though, you know, these highs right here, If we start to break above that, I think then we'll be in a much more healthy environment to create that bullish narrative that we're ready to kind of take out some of the highs and leave this accumulation finally. It has been accumulating for a very long time. We got a relatively low volume spring, so that's pretty good. There was a little bit of supply that came in on the dump, but it tested again on pretty low volume. And then we got a nice increase in the demand on the test. So there is some positive characteristics to this. I'm not hating this chart. Yeah, I'm just kind of confused as to the fundamentals on it. But that doesn't matter. We're in the bull market. We're in the speculative space. If the number goes up, people talk about it. What's going on, Jonathan Dominguez? Okay, so you entered pros in profit. Not sure about the volume of this late move. Yeah, it looks like it could definitely come down. I could see 3.5, 375 on that one. Yeah, it looks a little distro. Do we think we have a second cup and handle on GRT? So, you know, anytime we're discussing cup and handles, what we are discussing is a level to break through. Let's take a look at, we already, hey, sexy Manabe. We talked about Dash already. You'll just have to watch the replay. GRT. I don't get too lost in these patterns, honestly. Like the patterns, I don't give a shit about patterns. I care about support and resistance, trading ranges, supply and demand, volume. That's it. Cup and handle, I don't really see a cup and handle here. This doesn't look like a cup and handle. It just looks like a downtrending trading range, to be honest. I think at this point we could probably slant this up. This is what I'm seeing on GRT now. Yeah, we're just trapped and trending down. I've been saying for a while that I think the value zone for GRT is going to be around 80 cents. That's kind of the area that didn't get tested much. The next area to watch out for is probably at about $1 right here. So we did test that. But look at the volume here. Like, oops, back it up. Look at the volume in this thing. Like, it's really not a lot. It's not a lot at all. What is GRT? Do you know? Do you know what it is? Do you know what it does? If you don't know what it is and you don't know what it does, you know, we're in that point where you kind of need to know what it is that you're buying so that you don't buy trash. I'm not saying it's trash. I just don't know what its true value is. A little bit of that's supply. We have supply coming in, so I wouldn't be surprised if we come back down and test this area back here. Kind of the area of the original breakout. It looks like we're kind of battling with that area right now. So if we manage to stay here and break out of the channel, then I think that we're good. But yeah, I'm just not. Yeah, we'll see. We need to break out some of these highs, and that's much higher levels. So we'll see. We'll there's no trade there. There's no real setup for me. Do not disturb. 1 hour. Happy Cinco de Mayo, everybody. If you are into that sort of thing. Avalanche is releasing this month. Avalanche is releasing this month. That would add some launchpad type hype for Avalanche. Yeah, that's been consistently a driving factor for demand that we've seen in a lot of assets. You know, when you're forced to buy the token to participate in these launches, it's a pretty clear demand there. So yeah, I think that's a pretty good point there, Nathan. There's definitely a demand case that could be built. So we'll just wait for the confirmations, wait to see what happens in the charts before we get too giddy with the positions. But I think that's clearly a demand that will likely come to Avalanche. Talk about Antcoin. Antcoin. ANT USD. Okay. Yeah, I like this. So this is something that's kind of, it's a slower play. I would like to see us come back down and test around $8, something like that. But we could very well just take off from here. Kind of. Usually I don't try to break out trend lines, but TA is an art. It's not a science. I want to see us kind of break out of here and see if we can get above this. But yeah, it looks all right. This was a very significant resistance that we overtook, and you could see the rally that we had as we overtook that resistance. Huge rally. So clearly this is a significant level. If we come down and test it again, we'll see what happens. But it looks like demand's coming in here to protect where we are right now. So I wouldn't be surprised if we break out. Watch this downward sloping line of resistance. If we can get above this downward sloping line of resistance, I think that would be kind of a signal for you to begin scaling in. But as far as kind of, full on, here we go, we're not there yet. I think this has got some room to develop. Are you using an iPad for drawing analysis and trading view? I am. Yes. I use an iPad as a second monitor. I have a MacBook Pro and I have an iPad. And that's my setup. Tell max hitting amount of duration. Okay, DGB, if you have time, can post to peer review and do it in here. Digibyte. Oh, okay. We'll cover it in peer review. Polka markets. I want to see Polkadot start performing before we start looking at all of its ecosystem. Yeah. We got 10 minutes before I got to jump into the virtual classroom. So for those who are unfamiliar with how this kind of works, we do the streams live, and in the group, we teach you how to trade. So if you're wanting to learn how to trade and you want, a group environment where you can post your charts, post your setups, post your strategy so that you basically get the skills to be your own trader. Every trading group just posts signals. They post signals and they post setups. They don't actually teach you how to find them yourself. If you want to actually learn how to find this stuff, because it's not that hard. It does take time, and it's a little bit more time intensive than just being fed setups. But if you're going to be fed setups, the market's going to turn and you're not going to know how to react. You're going to be looking at the setup still, thinking that they're ready to go. You need to be able to learn when the market shifts. Most people get burned in these setup groups because they follow the setups. They're like, oh, well, he's posting a setup. It's got to be a bullish setup because he's posting it. But no. These signals groups, you need to be able to think for yourself. And that's exactly what we teach. And we do the virtual classroom every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 1 p.m. Eastern. Immediately after the streams, we have a virtual classroom in our Discord where you can ask questions, post charts, and become a profitable trader sooner than you would if you were trying to do it on your own. I actually don't know any profitable traders. I've never met a profitable trader in my life that didn't have at least one mentor. The mentor doesn't necessarily have to be me, but it's got to be somebody. Even Wall Street, the traders, somebody doesn't just get good at trading and come to Wall Street. No, they come to Wall Street and they learn how to trade from the mentors. It's a skill. You need a teacher. Again, it doesn't have to be me, but it's got to be somebody. Did we take a look at Litecoin? No, we didn't. Litecoin's doing all right, even though I don't really like the project. Yeah, I'm using Sidecar with TradingView in the app. BNB, sorry I'm late, till Doge 8th May hitting level. TRX, never get notifications. Drew, you gotta like. So, if you don't tell YouTube that you like something, it's just going to be like, well, I guess he doesn't like it. So make sure you turn the notifications on, get all notifications, and hit the like. This is how YouTube works. You know, I'm not going to sit here and tell you to hit the like. You got to like it. You know, if you want to see the stuff, you got to tell YouTube that you like it. Virtual classroom is worth every penny. Thank you for the endorsement, Sarah. All right, so let's take a look at Litecoin, and we'll see if we have time for BNB. I don't like Litecoin. The only thing that I like about Litecoin is it's a test net for Bitcoin, and I like Bitcoin. But it's been doing well. I mean, you can't argue with this chart. Look at this. This is, you know, this is a really good chart. We're getting ready to break out the all-time high. Listen, retail loves Litecoin, and I'm not, you know, going to ignore that. Retail likes Litecoin. Bitcoin's too expensive. That's something that I'm coming to terms with this cycle. You know, previously in the middle of the last Bitcoin bull market, Bitcoin was at around $4,000. Yes, it was expensive, but retail was still buying it because they could buy a whole Bitcoin. People are coming in now and they're like, I'm not going to buy a whole Bitcoin. Screw that. I can get like a whole shit ton of Doge, or I could buy a few Litecoin. So that's a characteristic that's different this cycle, because I used to believe Bitcoin brought in the people. It brought in the new people, and it's now Doge. Doge brings in new people, which, you know, whatever. Anybody that gets exposed to this market, I'm happy to welcome you in. And if you're making money in Doge, I'm also happy that you're making money in Doge. This move on Litecoin, you know, this is not a new position. You are not in this position. Your last buy signal came in. Let's see what our indicator says on the daily. So we didn't actually get a buy signal on this one at all. So the indicator doesn't work every time. But your last buy signal, if you're going by the Wyckoff method, was down here at about $150. So we've been rallying quite a bit from that point, 131%. When we get close to 382, you're going to want to trim profits. You know, we're approaching a pretty significant area of resistance. When you're in resistance, you know, wait for this to get oversold. How close are we? Yeah. So if we cross the 80 mark, trim. Just trim, and it doesn't have to be much. I'll usually trim 5 or 10% because you'll hit these take profits multiple times. The take profits did signal. So, you know, you take 10% here, 10% here, 10% here, and then we'll probably get another one flash 10% here. So you've taken 40% of the position, and then you wait for a pullback and you buy back in. If you want access to this indicator, this is what you get by joining VIP. Sign up under our links, get a free 30-day trial to the trading group. You get, as long as you're a part of the group, you have access to this indicator. It's a $1,500 indicator. So we give it to you for free for accessing the group, and totally free for a month. 12 free classroom sessions. It's a good deal, guys. Come on. A good deal. Okay, Doge is on Gemini now. I mean, people want Doge. There's a demand. You know, I'm not going to blame anybody for buying Doge. There's a demand for Doge. I'm just not going to, I'm not going to get involved with that, just because I know a little bit more about how this pans out in the end. Is it the right time to buy Doge? I don't think so. The right time to buy Doge was at about 40 cents. Or sorry, 4 cents. Yeah, last time to buy Doge was at 4 cents. Or just buy it, whatever. We are kind of entering into a buy the rumor, sell the news event. I speculate. I think that we're not going to get the results that a lot of people are expecting, as Elon Musk is poised to go on SNL on this Saturday Night Live. So when the market doesn't get the result that they're looking for, usually there's a bit of a pullback. I think Doge is actually pulling back now. So there's supply coming into the market right now. We'll just cover Doge and then we'll get to BNB real quick. If you guys like this content, don't forget to subscribe. If you're following on Twitch, follow me on Twitch. I do this every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Nice buyback, actually. Nice buyback on Doge. So I wouldn't be surprised if this is kind of the trading range that we're looking at. But, you know, this was a reaction. So there's a trading range that will likely be developed here. We need to either break below or above to be a buyer. I'm not buying in the middle of this. I'll wait for it to break below. That's the value zone. And if we start to break out and commit, then you're going to want to, you know, take a breakout position. But if you're not an experienced trader, like if you've been trading for less than, I'm going to be very generous, if you've been trading for less than 3 years, you have no business buying Doge at these levels. It's a very hard coin to hold on to. It's a very volatile asset. You know what? You're going to do what you're going to do. I'm just trying to tell you that it's getting risky. Every level that we go up here is closer and closer to the top. And when we get to the top, it's probably going to be a 70% retracement, which can hurt big time. Like if you bought in here and it just retraced 70%, that's, you know, there's your money. It's gone. And it's gone. Okay, BNB. I am unable to, you know, tell you that based on that chart, if that's a top, by the way. BNB overtaking the resistance, breaking out some of the highs. Let's see what the daily is doing. Yeah, this is looking good. This will probably not result in a bullish engulfing, so we'll probably need to overtake the highs again. Once we kind of get above this wick right here, we need to close above 643. If we can close above 633 and hold it for a day, probably 48 hours. If we can hold above 643 for 48 hours, I think that'll be a pretty good signal that we can head up to higher levels. It's in an uptrend. It's doing well. You know, there's a lot of demand. Binance Smart Chain, there's a lot of farming, a lot of demand for this token to be able to participate in a lot of these assets. These initial coin offerings, the initial farm offerings, the initial everything offerings, all of that crap. So there is a lot of demand with Binance token right now. So that is all the time I have for today. If you guys enjoyed the content, please leave it a like. If you want to see this content and be notified, tell YouTube that you like it. I don't really care if you like it. It's just more so for you guys. And if there are any projects that you want me to take a look at, leave them in the comments section down below. And until next time, please trade safe. It is a jungle out there. Peace.